Hi, we are Grigori, Gharveyn. This is part 6 of our current project, Our Future History, How the Earth Made Peace. Part 6, Priority 1, Sustainability. Our ancestors faced two serious threats to their continued existence, global civil war and the potential nearly complete collapse of their terrestrial and aquatic biospheres. Achieving sustainability was a primary concern. Sustainability would mean restructuring all of our critical infrastructures to be less wasteful, less polluting, and more productive. This was a Herculean task. Many threats to global habitats were converging due to habitat infringement by humans, including pollution, prospecting, and commercial development of natural resources. Many different scenarios for the potential complete global collapse of our biospheres emerged. The most critical of these potential disasters was the threat to our marine biospheres. One of the tiniest creatures on Earth was critical to the survival of nearly all creatures on Earth. These were the coral creatures. The coral were becoming extinct. The corals secrete a mucus-like saliva that is rich in calcium. The calcium is used to form their shells around themselves. Shell formation can only occur in a narrow pH range. Waters which are too acid or too base cause shell formation to fail. Two processes were making ocean waters more acidic: the absorption of carbon monoxide from our atmosphere and the runoff of nitrates from our agricultural infrastructures. A small amount of the carbon absorbed from our atmosphere was converting into carbonic acids, slightly raising oceanic pH levels and threatening coral. Nitrate runoffs from farming practices were creating significant amounts of nitric acids, which were more dramatically raising ocean pH levels and effectively killing off coral. At the time our ancestors convened their interfaith movement and succeeded in guiding the world on its first steps to world peace, more than 25% of all coral had already become extinct. Saving the coral would be a complex task requiring extraordinary international cooperation. Our ancestors could not have saved the coral without first creating world peace. The coral were critical to the survival of nearly all creatures on Earth through a remarkable system of interdependencies. The coral provide habitat for nearly 90% of the entire oceanic biosphere. The creatures composing the food chains of our marine biospheres act as an active carbon sink. They absorb carbon monoxide gases absorbed by cold seawater from our atmosphere. Specifically, phytoplankton absorbed carbon monoxide. The phytoplankton are at the bottom of the marine food chains. All the carbon they were absorbing was passing up the marine food chains. Perhaps all of the marine food chains depended upon phytoplankton. Near the entire marine biosphere was a huge storage facility for carbon monoxide pollution. If the marine biosphere collapsed due to the extinction of the coral, then all of the carbon monoxide would be released back into our atmosphere. The oceans would become saturated with carbon, unable to absorb any more. Our atmosphere would turn lethal almost overnight in geological terms. It might take only 30 years following this event for all humans to make themselves extinct. The imminent collapse of the atmospheric oceanic carbon cycle was only a part of the total global threat due to pollution. There were other global environmental mechanisms in play. Our polar tundra regions hold huge deposits of methane gases and carbon gases locked within and under the ice. The ice is melting. Small releases of these gases have killed entire nearby communities. Large releases of these gases were once very likely. Planet-killing volumes of gases were once very likely to be released. Both the carbon cycle and the tundra gas fault threats were linked by a common threat: atmospheric pollution. Global warming was a very serious threat. Global warming contributed directly to the potential release of planet-killer clouds of tundra gases. Global warming contributed to the breakdown of part of the carbon cycle. Only cold ocean waters absorb carbon monoxide. warm ocean waters release carbon back into the atmosphere. The oceans were warming due to global warming. One of the more critical gases contributing to global warming was carbon monoxide. Burning hydrocarbon fuels for energy was the primary cause of carbon monoxide pollution. Hydrocarbon fuel consumption was rising all over our ancestors' worlds as more and more nations developed primitive national energy infrastructures. There were huge financial interests involved in maintaining and expanding these energy infrastructures and the manufacturing these infrastructures would support. Everyone wanted more power, cheaper power, but the hidden cost of producing cheap, easily consumable electric power was quickly killing our entire planet. The social inertia of these financial institutions was immense. These financial institutions were very secure in their power base. The only solution to the problem they were helping the entire world create might completely bankrupt them. We enjoy free solar power today because our ancestors learned the wisdom required to enable them to migrate their energy infrastructures from hydrocarbon fuels to low-orbital solar power collectors. The investment in solar power development consumed nearly all of our planet's immediate capital wealth. The job could not have been accomplished without first building world peace. Fortunately, as new paradigms came into play, it was possible to recover our global economies and to redirect them more successfully. Today we enjoy peace, liberty, justice, security, diversity, and abundance for all the people, with no one left behind. Namaste.